All right, let's dive into a really fascinating one today. We're looking at a stock, RUBI, that is basically telling two completely different stories at the same time. I mean, is this thing in a total free fall, or is it coiling up for a massive launch? Let's dig in and see what the charts are telling us.
So yeah, that's the big question, right? How can a stock look like it's both falling off a cliff and about to soar at the exact same time? It's a real head scratcher. So for this explainer, we're going to put on our detective hats. We'll treat the technical data like clues at a crime scene to figure out what's really going on here. Okay, just a super quick heads up before we get into the numbers. To make things easier to see, we've scaled the price. So when you see a price like 235, just know that it actually represents 23.5 cents. Simple as that. All right, so let's get right to it. A stock's big contradiction. This is really the core of the whole story. We're talking about a classic showdown between the stock's long, painful past and this sudden, really aggressive move it's making right now. And wow, this really says it all, doesn't it? The long-term view versus the recent view. On one side, you've got this just crushing weight of the past, dragging it down for ages. But then on the other side, you see this explosive burst of energy pushing up from the bottom. It's the perfect picture of a stock at a crossroads, a real tug of war between the bears and the bulls. Okay, first up, the long-term bear case. We're calling this the scene of the crime. To really get what's happening, we have to start here with the long-term clues that have been painting a really, really grim picture for this stock. And just look at this gap. It's huge. The price right now is $235, but its 50-day simple moving average, that's all the way up at 1,400. The exponential moving average is at 1,200. I mean, think about that. The stock isn't just trending down, it's trading so far below its own average price that it's like it's in a completely different zip code. It's living in the shadow of its former self, for sure. You know, the original report we're looking at just nailed it with this phrase. They called it a deeply entrenched structural downtrend. That's powerful language. It tells you this isn't just a slump or a bad couple of weeks. This is a long-term fundamental problem that's been baked into the stock's price for a while. And that is the massive wall the bulls have to climb. But, like any good mystery, there's a twist. So now let's look at the other side of the story, the sudden bullish reversal. This is the surprising new evidence that completely flips the script on everything we just saw. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Remember how far away those long-term averages were? Well, check this out. The last price is $235, but look where the short-term averages are. The price is just blasted above its 5-day moving averages, which are way down at 168 and 186. That's not a gentle nudge. That is an aggressive, powerful leap. And that move? That's what technical analysts call a powerful bullish impulse. It's basically the bulls launching a sudden counterattack. It's a direct challenge to that whole long-term bearish story. The fight is officially on, and it's happening right now. So where does that leave us? We've got two completely opposite stories. To figure out which one to believe, we need to pull out some more specialized tools. Let's talk about measuring trend exhaustion, our forensic tools. It's not enough to know the direction. We need to measure the strength behind these moves. Our first tool is called the ADX, or the Average Directional Index. Now, this one's super important to understand. The ADX doesn't care if the price is going up or down. It couldn't care less. All it does is measure how strong the trend is. Think of it like a car's engine. A high reading means the engine is roaring, full of power. A really low reading, it means the trend is weak, sputtering, and basically running out of gas. And here we go, our first major clue from the forensics lab. The ADX value for RUBI is just 19.49. Now, anything below 25 is generally considered a weak or even non-existent trend. So what does this tell us? It means that whole massive, scary downtrend we saw, just before this recent pop, it was getting seriously tired. It was losing its grip. So let's start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Our first big discovery is that the old downtrend, the one that looked so powerful, well, it was losing steam fast. And that weakness, that exhaustion, that's exactly what opened the door for a powerful reversal. See, a weak trend is vulnerable. It's like a tired boxer with their guard down, creating the perfect opportunity for a surprise knockout punch. And that's exactly what the bulls just tried to deliver. Okay, so we know the old trend was on its last legs. Now let's pull everything together and see what the indicators are suggesting right now. It's time for the verdict, or at least the verdict for now. Because that old trend is so weak, we can now look at a different set of tools. momentum indicators to get a glimpse into what might happen next. Think of these as early warning systems that tell us where the new energy is flowing.
And here's maybe the most important clue of all. The MACD histogram, a classic momentum gauge, has just flipped positive. It's sitting at 48. And a positive number here is a big deal. It's a clear signal that bullish momentum, buying pressure, is actively building under the surface right now. So let's recap the whole investigation. Clue number 1, we confirmed a huge long-term downtrend. No doubt about that. Clue number 2, but then we found out that downtrend was actually exhausted thanks to that low ADX reading. Clue number 3, a powerful short-term breakout happened, directly challenging that old tired trend. And clue number 4, fresh momentum indicators, like the MACD, are now lighting up with bullish signals.
So what's the verdict after all that? Well, it's not a simple buy or sell. It's not that easy. The verdict is that we're looking at a classic battleground. You've got the long-term bears, who have all of history on their side, staring down an energized group of short-term bulls who have all the recent momentum. It's a standoff.
And that leaves us with the big question, the one that really matters. With the bulls and the bears locked in this standoff, who's going to win? Is the crushing weight of that long-term trend going to snuff out this little rally? Or is this new momentum the real deal? The start of a true massive reversal? That is the multi-million-dollar question the market has to answer next.